This is your week of May 25th and the following 7 days. So we got a chart. We're going to take a look at it and we will walk through this week together. I think I'm mixing up some stuff. Okay. Monday, May 25th, following 7 days, we got Jupiter up front. Pluto and the sun will be a thing. The nodes will be a thing. There will be some Uranian energy mixed in with this, of course. Last but not least, there is a full moon, and we will talk about it. There is a separate video for the full moon. So if you want more details on the full moon, make sure that you check out the full moon video. Understand that this is going to be the second full moon. This is a blue moon, the second full moon of the month of May. And that within itself is significant. All right, but let's start at the beginning with Jupiter at 22 degrees. It's about to click into 23. We have this emotional depth that takes us back to the past, but we are connecting those dots to the present, and we are also connecting those dots to the future. We are understanding the energetic links that have bonded us. You know, this is a unifying energy. Gemini. My mind wanted to say Uranus and Gemini, even though I'm staring at Jupiter in Cancer. And yes, Uranus and Gemini will also be as disruptive as it will be. It's a consciousness-raising experience that brings about a unifying energy because we're considering things that we would not consider in the past in terms of our thoughts and the communication style, the duality of all of our natures, right? So that is also a helper. It's in addition to, it's the combination of both of these things. It's never one thing. So the Jupiter energy going from 22 to 23 brings on a whole nother level of energy. This is the group energy. I think this is where my intuition, my brain, whatever you want to call it, this is what this is what I was hearing, which was 23 degrees brings in Uranian energy. Now that can be disruptive. It can be surprises, but it is also this consciousness raising sort of experience collectively. That's the ticket here, collectively. So this should be an interesting time in terms of the public, Cancer energy, that's the public, home, family, women, emotions, and tying together the past, the present, and the future. The future. And yes, this would be the future of humanity too. So we have to always consider the micro and the macro because we do not exist in a bubble, even though it's easier and less stressful, but it's not our reality. There's also something else happening on the 26th, and I think that's going to be significant, but it will likely be felt on Monday, just as this Jupiter at 2253, these same kind of energies, disruptive, but collectively rebellious, but the possibility of a group consciousness raising experience. Look what we have. We're going to have the sun and Pluto squaring each other at the same time is when the sun and Pluto I said square, that's a trine, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a triangle, that's a triangle. So here's the sun at 4 degrees in Gemini, and where's Pluto? Yeah, there's Pluto over there. Pluto's at 5 degrees, institutional energy, public figures, people in charge, governments across the pond, right? Foreigners, foreign languages, but politicians and justices, meaning Department of Justice, meaning, Jupiter energy, meaning judges and Supreme Court, more of that stuff. Now, the combination of the trine of Pluto and the sun is authority figure energy. This is writing, this is talking, this is business, this is communications, trade. Remember, local and global. We have to kind of just go forward thinking local and global. The connectivity, the strong connections of what happens in the whole, happens in at home type of thing. What happens at home happens in the whole. And so your communications with siblings, coworkers, neighbors, what you're doing on social media, how you're sharing information, taking it in, learning, teaching, and spewing it back out, sharing it. That trine, I'm an authority on something. 4 degrees going into 5 degrees. 4 degrees, women, home, moon, property. Property is a big one in Gemini energy because that's the housing market. It trines Pluto, which is power. And this talks about what's been hidden. Pluto's showing us what's been hidden, this group power. Not that we're not aware of it, but maybe more aware of it than before. Those can be abuses of power. This would definitely be elite energy, but in group energy, it's also the recognition that we as a group, if we unify, we have the real power. Rebellious consciousness raising Aquarius energy. Anyone who's authority of your life. Are you the authority of your life? With the Pluto comes intense power, maybe abuses of power. This can be emotional, sexual, usually very traumatic energy. And lately, there's been a lot of communication of abuses of power within groups who've been abused. The past traumas, but betrayal is a huge, huge word with Pluto, betrayals. The sun, as it goes through Gemini, it challenges Virgo and Pisces energy. So, yes, on this day, there is a big square. So, the nodes are power points. These are soul energy. These are, the past superpower, Virgo. And the Pisces energy is the future where we're headed. And it's government, public figures, political theater, the future, the trade and overseas and foreign countries and the global stuff, and the healing institutions and institutional energy in general. Authority figure and a big wicked T-square to that authority figure. So mental instability, for sure. Words that are coming out of somebody's mouth, the way they're communicating and talking, this will just bring about an even stronger awareness of that which is crumbling, and there has to be a change. And with that Uranian energy, this definitely Uranus in Gemini, paper, something you write on, something you use in the mail, your voice absolutely is Uranus in Gemini. And so this is a strong theme for this time. And is the public okay with the government trying to manipulate? The public's going to have to speak up. To Saturn next, that's the 28th. Saturn makes a move. And Saturn in general is about structure and order. It's about rules and discipline and my long-term goals, who and what I'm willing to commit to. Aries is all about freedom, and I will fight for that. And Saturn says, I'm going to set up boundaries possibly. And there might be even, I'm organizing. Saturn is all about building some new partnerships. Long-term committed partnerships are going to be within the global trade. 12 authority figures, again, more political stuff, more political theater. But it might be a little tricky, actually, because 12 degrees of Saturn is that Pisces stuff. And so that can be behind the scenes. That can be, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. It looks a little confusing. It might change. It might morph. That's typical. So that would be the rules and the structure. That's Saturn energy, 30th of May, the 30th of this week. The nodes move. They go from the 4 degrees. This changes things. This is talking about business and trade, but also talking and communication and my mind. So this 3 degrees and Neptune at 3, this connection will be really quite strong with our minds. Not to mention the sun is going through Gemini. Strong mind energy. The question is, will we as a group, as the little people, as the majority on the planet, the public, will we merge together? Will there be a merging of minds where we're saying, I just want peace. I don't want any more war. All living beings are sacred and should be honored. Like, when will we all get on the same frequency? And when we do, holy crap, then the change begins. So the mind energy, really strong with the nodes here. Again, business and trade, local community, siblings, our mind gets amped up, really busy. Some people might be considering other work, other jobs, because we're going to be talking about the nodes at 3 degrees at that point. So work, jobs, homes in terms of where I live, my neighborhood. So the nodes talk about the past, but also what I need to do for the future and the changes that I need to make. The options, my ability to pivot, to learn, to God, curiosity is huge at 3 degrees. And so school and education, grade school, right? Your local schools and where you live, that will also be big. That will also have something to do with this. And even writing and cursive. We've been talking about this lately. And I've even mentioned it in the private lives and even in the astro classes. Second Saturday of every month, we talk about the mind and how, anyway, there's a whole lot of connections to handwriting and cursive. And so we had brought that up and talked a little bit about it. But 3 degrees, yeah, and embrace and strengthen your own mind. 3 degrees, I'm going to take the time right now to mention also, we have to consider the net sacred number 3. And within that sacred number 3, the ego to the spirit and to the soul level would really be a connection to something higher. I am more in an altruistic mode at this point. I am saying, how can I help others? How can I contribute instead of being a receiver and a taker? How can I regain my own power, but not for myself? It is more about, sure, I'm part of this, but it's also to see how many others I can help while I'm helping myself, thinking bigger and more about idealism. And so I think this will be huge with the nodes moving to 3. This is what the preparation is before the full moon. Before the full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st to 9 degrees of Saggy, which means the sun will be at 9 degrees of Gemini. So again, this is my thoughts, how I'm thinking. The 9 degrees is a Jupiter degree. So for sure, this can be about justices. And I'm not going to I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but go watch the other video to get more details. So 9 degrees, full moon energy, a release, a completion of some sort, but there's more. This is a much bigger deal for this full moon because it is a blue moon. So the blue moon energies are normally a reestablishing of something. Like we're saying, I started this, but I'm completing this. And I'm completing what? But as a second full moon, it's a reset.